I think it's all about money, marketing, and we cannot deny what Caitlin Clark has done for the women's game. I'm not going to act like it's something that we don't see.
NBA announced that some of the preseason games would feature star players playing back at their college arenas. The biggest of those matchups, no doubt, was with the biggest star, Caitlin Clark, playing here at Iowa.
1.3 million viewers for a WNBA preseason game. That's not just a record, it's a revolution, and it has one name written all over it: Caitlin Clark. Lisa Leslie, one of the greatest to ever touch a basketball, just called Clark's impact on the league amazing. But here's what everyone's wondering: can Clark handle the pressure of transforming an entire franchise? Or will the Indiana Fever become another cautionary tale of too much hype too soon? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. When Lisa Leslie speaks, everyone in basketball listens. She's not just any WNBA legend, she's a 3-time MVP who changed the game. And when she calls Clark's impact amazing, that's like Michael Jordan praising your jump shot. Leslie knows something big is happening, but here's the situation Clark faces.
Physically grueling, it's mentally taxing, let alone what Caitlin's had to deal with. I think it was great for her to get a break. I think it was great for her body, her mind, her soul probably. And then it was great for her to get in the weight room.
I want to win for them. Like, seeing how selfless they are and, them choosing to come here and choosing to be a part of the Fever, they didn't have to do that. So I certainly want to win for them, and they deserve it.
College basketball and the WNBA might as well be different sports. In Iowa, Clark was the sun, moon, and stars. In the WNBA, she's facing defenders who are faster, stronger, and way more physical than anything she saw in college. These women aren't impressed by your highlight reel. They want to make you look bad on their own. The numbers don't lie though. 1.3 million viewers for a preseason game is ridiculous. Regular WNBA games typically pull around 400,000 viewers. Even NBA preseason games struggle to hit those Clark numbers. We're talking about more people watching a practice game than many playoff contests. That's not normal. Clark's game looks like it will translate. The shooting range that made defenders pick her up at half court in college, that still matters. Her court vision that found teammates through impossible windows, that skill travels.
She's had a huge effect, called the Caitlin Clark effect. Yes, have we ever had teams have to get into larger arenas to play against a team? No, we have not.
Expects us to compete for a championship in May. Well, that's not realistic. Like, we've got to make sure that we're taking our daily steps, and we're getting better, and we're stacking days, and we put the best team and the best combinations on the floor that we can.
Her basketball IQ that lets her see plays before they happen. That might even be more valuable against better competition. But imagine waking up every day knowing millions of people are waiting for you to mess up. Every missed shot gets analyzed. Every turnover becomes a Twitter moment. Every defensive mistake gets turned into a video essay. That's Clark's life now. Leslie pointed out something important about Clark's situation. She barely had time to breathe between her NCAA run and jumping into the WNBA. Clark had very little time to rest and prepare for the WNBA, Leslie said. That's a recipe for a rough adjustment. And we saw that in her preseason performance. Moments of brilliance mixed with rookie mistakes. Passes that threaded needles followed by balls sailing into the stands. Deep threes that made crowds roar, followed by air balls that reminded everyone she's still finding her footing. Leslie believes Clark's second year will be huge. She has had time to really process what the WNBA looks like and feels like. Leslie explained. That makes sense. Year 1 is about survival. Year 2 is about domination. But here's the bigger question now. Can the Indiana Fever actually build something around Clark? Because basketball isn't tennis. One player can't do it alone. And that's the next challenge Clark faces, turning a franchise around, not just lighting up the stat sheet.
And I didn't know they were going to do this. This was a complete surprise to me, but I think, and then the fashion in which I broke the record, it seems like really deep now that I'm back here now, and I said that after the game. I kind of went up to them, I'm like, are you sure that's the correct spot? But
The Indiana Fever is loading up the roster with talent, but are they building a super team or setting Clark up for failure? That's what everyone wants to know. Lisa Leslie pointed out the new additions: Sydney Colson, Sophie Cunningham, Dana Bonner, and Natasha Howard. These aren't just random players. Howard brings 2 championship rings and all-star experience. Colson knows how to run an offense and defend. Cunningham can score from anywhere. Bonner adds veteran leadership. On paper, this looks amazing. But basketball isn't played on paper. Remember the Philadelphia Eagles? Vince Young called them a super team, and they turned into an utter and complete disaster. Names don't win games, chemistry does. Leslie even cautioned about tempering expectations. Just throwing talented players together doesn't guarantee success. And what about coaching? Stephanie White coming back to Indiana changes everything. Leslie noted White is a big part of this. Her approach to player development might be exactly what Clark needs. Someone who understands both Clark's talent and the pressure she's facing. White has to balance letting Clark be special while helping her grow as a pro.
She's not the player who's like, it's all about her. It's not. She's giving love and homage to those of us that have come before her. She shares the wealth with her teammates, and she doesn't have to do that.
I mean, come on.
Then there's the Olympic team situation that still has a lot of people shaking their heads. Clark not making the squad feels weird considering her popularity and skill. That kind of snub can go 2 ways. It either crushes your confidence or turns into rocket fuel for your motivation. How Clark responds to this rejection might define her rookie season. Speaking of rookies, Angel Reese is another part of this story. Leslie didn't pull punches about Reese's game, saying she has got to work on those layups and you've got to start hitting them. Leslie warned Reese needs to be more efficient or she'll be a liability on the offensive side. This shows nobody gets a free pass. Even the most hyped players have weaknesses to fix. The big question, can Clark handle being both the savior and the student? Most rookies get to learn quietly. Clark has to learn while millions watch her every move. How the Fever built this roster will determine Clark's success.
We have more eyeballs on the game, and Caitlin Clark brings that. Why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television?
Here comes Clark in transition. Clark, pull up 3. You bet!
If these veterans take pressure off Clark and allow her to develop naturally, this could be special. But if the expectations stay sky high with no protection, the weight might crush her. This isn't just about Clark or the Fever anymore. The entire WNBA's future might depend on whether this experiment works. The league has never had this kind of mainstream attention before. Now they need to turn that attention into lasting fandom. The Caitlin Clark effect is real. Teams are literally moving to bigger arenas when she comes to town. But this isn't just about Clark. It's about whether the WNBA can grab this moment. The pressure isn't actually on Clark. It's on the Fever and the league to build something that lasts. Remember, getting people to watch once is easy. Getting them to come back, that's the hard part.
She has teammates that, I mean, they have 3 losses on the season. That's not just one player doing that. She has other teammates that can score and play defense, and so we have to give them their respect.
They don't know what they don't know. They haven't really been through it, and getting experience on the floor is one thing, but helping them navigate all of the nuance that comes with being, who they are.
Clark pulling in 1.3 million viewers for a preseason game is crazy, but the real test isn't those early numbers. It's whether those curious first-time viewers turn into actual WNBA fans who stick around.